The Dawnthief demo is out, and holy shit, right? How did they do that? Look, I have said to many people before that Curse Crackers is the best platformer I've ever played, and yet, somehow, Mimbron iterated on that gameplay and improved it. We're going to get into the lore in a minute here, but I just wanted to take the time to appreciate just how incredibly fun it is to move around in this demo. It is sick. And you can just imagine how later levels in the full game could be laid out to provide really interesting challenges using the flail. I really can't wait. This is gearing up to be the best Color Grave game yet, no question about it. And that's before we even get into the lore, which... holy shit, right? I was genuinely shocked when I first saw parts of this opening cutscene, and first of all, we're greeted with Alexa right off the bat. Like, we're just getting right into this, huh? Right, well, okay then, let's get right into it. Lore time, baby! This dialogue from Alexa starts out like a rallying speech to the Dawn cult as a whole. I imagine her broadcasting it on a secret channel like in Claire a la mode, or maybe she stood on stage in front of an actual crowd of the assembled cult members. Although a little bit further into it, she'll start addressing Belle directly. Sorry, the clown. Mimbron wants us to call her the clown since her identity has never technically been confirmed, but I mean... fuck off, man. I think we can at least say that this cutscene itself serves as a sort of soft confirmation just based on the way that Alexa speaks to the clown, in that same affectionate but creepy way she did back in Curse Crackers. I think it is this switch from sounding like she's addressing a crowd to addressing an individual that invoked the image of her being on stage for me. Like, Belle is also on stage with her, and then she starts talking directly to Belle. She's still doing it as part of this speech to the cult at large, like readying them for the commencement of the plan. Is commencement a word? I don't know. But anyway, back to the beginning of the speech. Something that jumped out to me right away was this mentioning of the world being asleep in a dream. This is very particular wording that we've seen a couple of times before in Curse Crackers, and it always piqued my interest. I theorized before that perhaps the dream is analogous to the world of Ladamra itself, it being Armadel's ideal world, or dream world if you will, and that this prophesized ending of the dream is foretelling a huge upheaval in the balance of power in this world. And I think I may have been partially correct? Now it seems like the dream refers to the false narrative that the world has been subjected to under Sigrid's rule. Perhaps in collaboration with Lawbright, she and her people were meant to be the keepers of history after all. There is surely going to be that shift in power at least, as it seems the Dawn are dead set on completely dethroning Sigrid and doing away with all of her ways of running the world. What I wonder is, do they intend to take her place, or do they mean to throw the world into chaos? That was such a fucking tuba read of that. That was shit! Alexa says they've been held back and robbed of their full potential. What does that mean? Something to do with the gifts of the scales? Something to do with ungifted, perhaps? Something to do with, I don't know, magic eaters somehow? This particular line has got a lot of potential depth, I think. I think whatever meaning is behind what she's saying here is very important to the Dawn cult's motivations. So, here's the engagement bait for this video. What do you think she meant by this? Anyway, Sigrid reveal. What? Holy moly! I was not expecting to actually see Sigrid 5 seconds into the demo for this game. Sure, it is only a silhouette, but this is the first glimpse we have ever got of her. All we had before was, like, a description that she's not an armoured tank of a woman from the chalkboard in Curse Crackers, and the fact that she doesn't have antlers, which you can find in Claire a la mode. The story goes that Sigrid is a Lauren who lost her antlers in the War of the Scales. Of course, we know that she is most certainly not a Lauren, again thanks to the chalkboard, so this is most likely just a convenient cover story, and also presumably these are either prosthetic antlers or part of the helmet she's wearing. I'm gonna assume helmet, since they don't look very much like the other Lauren antlers that we've seen in the past. Speaking of her outfit, I know this is probably meant to be like a scarf or part of her cloak or something, but wouldn't it be funny if they were actually her arms? Like, she's just got weird, floppy jelly arms. Hey, she's supposed to be an alien. Sure, she has pointed ears like Ladamrans do, but maybe she can shapeshift or something? Maybe she's actually just a blob creature shaped like a Lauren. Actually, that doesn't make any sense, because why wouldn't she just make herself antlers instead of coming up with that cover story? Unless the story is actually true and she can't shapeshift damaged tissue, like a damaged part of her, and so she can't remake antlers because they were damaged when they were in that form or something. Yeah, I'm getting too into the weeds here. We gotta move on. Next is a possible hint to the timeline of events. Alexa says hundreds of years, not thousands of years. Now, of course, Ladamra could still have been around for thousands of years. Sigrid herself could have been around for thousands of years. Just because Alexa chose to say hundreds doesn't necessarily rule that out. I don't really have much else to say about this right now, but it's a potentially important data point to hold on to for the future if we ever want to actually date everything in the timeline, which I do hopefully want to do someday. Once again, begging Mimron to give us a dating system, please. And next is geography. Look at that, our first proper view of Ladamra. So, a few things to note. This is presumably the Northern Wilderness. This is most likely Holor, as it shares its shape with the map that we can see in Clear Alamode, and this is probably the Southern Volcanic Wastelands. Interestingly, there is an in-universe myth that Armadale is sleeping at the South Pole, and I wonder if that myth came about because of the shape of the continent. You can see that it looks kinda dragony. Was that on purpose? As in in real life, was it pixeled that way to look like that on purpose? I mean, if so, definitely very nice attention to detail, really love to see it, and if not, cool coincidence, just pretend you did it on purpose. During this part, it's revealed that Sigrid apparently has secret things hidden in the Northern Wilderness? Could this be part of, or even the whole reason that travel to that place has been banned? Are these things playing an active role in Sigrid's position of power, or perhaps even her literal power? Or are they maybe more conventional weapons, some sort of backup plan, a break glass in case of emergency type of last resort? Is it a spaceship? We don't know how Sigrid got to Ladamra, we just know that she's not from there. We've assumed that her arrival is somehow connected to the cross-world teleportation, but maybe she just crash-landed in a little cartoon rocket ship or something. Or maybe there's a cross-world gate there leading to her home planet. Maybe it's one of those glitchy red crystals we've seen a few times before. Maybe it's Nixion's head. Whatever it is, I think we can say with 80% certainty that we're gonna get to find out at some point in the full release of this game. I lost my bottle there. I really lost my bottle. I thought I was going to say, we're definitely going to learn all about this. I don't know. We might not. After this, Alexa mentions a diversionary force dispatched to distract Sigrid down south while the clown ventures to the north. I'm hopeful that perhaps we will get to see or even play as this diversionary force in one of the 2 other games that are planned in this series. Because if you didn't know, at the start of the year, Colorgrave released an update video announcing that Dawnthief will be the first of 3 games planned in what I'm interpreting as a sort of mini saga. And that's also why I was like, oh, maybe we won't get to know what this thing is in this game because there's 3 that are coming out in this little series of games. So who knows how much will be revealed in this one and how much they're saving for the ending and how it's all gonna. So maybe it's gonna be 3 games that kind of take place simultaneously and they all converge into a single final scene or final act. But anyway, keeping the focus on this demo for now, we have something that, for me, was a pretty big reveal. This is something that you could have figured out way back in Curse Crackers, but it was never made this explicit until now. Alexa explains that Sigrid wasn't the only reason that the Dawn has waited this long before infiltrating the wilderness. There's also the issue of the native inhabitants, Wild Hearthen. Now, side note, I'm assuming that wild here is being used as a kind of derogatory term, not an indicator that these Hearthen are literally, feral, because Hawk is from the wilderness and he seems perfectly well adjusted. And Soraya might be as well. Soraya was at least the one that brought them from there, so maybe she's originally from there. I don't think we know that. I'll put it on screen now, whether we know that or not. If anything, you could probably say that their gift is more sharply tuned than those of Hearthen born and raised in the Midlands of Ladamra. And their gift is exactly what causes concern for the Dawn. The gift of the Hearthen is to be able to hear the emotions of other people. With that, they could track the Dawn and predict their movements, as Alexa says. But now, they have Belle. Someone for whom it was established in Curse Crackers has the ability to completely mute her own emotions in such a way that no Hearthen can hear them, to the point where even her lifelong friend Bonnie couldn't tell what she was truly thinking. And that was when it hit me, a line from the end of the Dawn Carnival fight in Curse Crackers from Alexa to Belle, that Maggie raised you so perfectly. Plus, the fact that Maggie is accompanying Belle on this expedition, this was the plan all along. Belle's entire life has been engineered to forge her into the perfect weapon for this exact purpose. Raised by a teacher, a Lauren no less, to make sure that she only knows what the Dawn wants her to know. Raised conveniently alongside a Hearthen, almost as though to be able to test this very ability that Maggie was fostering in her. Is this why Maggie has the lantern of Bonnie's parents hidden in a small room donned with the Dawn symbol? Was she responsible for getting rid of Bonnie's parents as part of this grand plan so that they would have this perfect test subject? It's all starting to make sense. All the pieces are falling into place. It seems like the Dawn Cult's plan is unfolding exactly how they want. But there is a final series of hurdles to overcome. Sigrid herself may not be present, but her elite guard, the Phalanx, most certainly are. I expect these are kind of like an extra force outside of the titled, although I guess there's no reason that some of the titled could be also in this group. As for their identities, well, if there are any titled among them, this could potentially be resolved. That'd be a heck of a twist. This one that's given special attention in the cutscene and said to nearly rival the strongest of the world kinda looks like it could be Missy. And call me crazy, but does this one kinda look like it could be Carolyn? I don't know, does that even make any sense? I don't think it actually does, but that's just where my brain went for some reason. It just kinda looks like Carolyn, I don't know. Oh, wait, could it be Genevieve? That'd be fucked up. Imagine if we end up fighting Genevieve. That would be insane. Why would she be in Sigrid's elite guard, like, 1 year after she joined the army? Maybe it's Cole. No, the hair doesn't fit. Yeah, I'm off script right now, I'm just kind of spitballing. Oh, be cool if Cole appeared again though, right? I'd love to see Cole again. Anyway, at the end of the speech, Alexa flips back to addressing the Dawn Cult as a whole, once again mentioning the dream and saying the world will soon awake from it, reinforcing the idea that the dream is a metaphor for the stranglehold that Sigrid has on the world and the lies that she's used to shape it to her will. The dawn is here! And then Maggie wakes us up from our nap. Oh, just like old times! So, that does it for the opening cutscene. What is that, the first 2-ish minutes of the game? How long have I been talking? Now all that's left is to actually start playing it. I just want to say again, just how much damn fun it is to move around in this game. Like, it's criminal how short this demo is. I mean, I understand why it is. Time is tight, and budget is tight, and everything is tight. But you know what else is tight is this fucking movement, baby. Oh hey look, it's one of those guys from the Silhouette lineup. And of course, when you get to the end of the demo, Cool King Tom is there waiting for you. New game theory, Cool King Tom is actually Belle's dad. Dude, I'm still waiting for how all this connects back to Cyril in April Grove. Remember that guy? Remember all that shit? Anyway, bye.